Hi friends, I'm heading out on a little trip soon, and I thought I'd take you along for just a few minutes to share some of my favorite packing tips. These aren't the Pinterest perfect kind, they're just real tricks that have made traveling so much simpler for me over the years. I don't overpack or stress the way I used to, and it's made such a difference. I've done a lot of traveling here in the States. My husband and I love our little road trips, and I've been lucky enough to visit Europe and Japan too. And after trying so many packing hacks from YouTube and Pinterest, I finally figured out a system that really works just for me. So, if packing feels overwhelming for you sometimes, I hope this gives you a few helpful ideas. So let me show you how I do it. So the first thing that I start with are two different types of lists. My first one is my itinerary. Now, I figure out where we're going to go by scouring Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. I type in our destinations and I start making a master list of all of the things that I want to do once I get there. And then my husband and I, we sit down and we decide where we actually want to go. And then once I have that list down, then I start going to the websites of all of the places that we're going to go to. And I make sure I find out how much things are going to cost, if there's a parking fee. I go and find out what kinds of events are going on there. What are some top things that you might want to do when you get there? And I make sure that I go into Canva and I make this whole itinerary out so that we know each day what we're going to do. Now, keep in mind, even when we get to these destinations and I've found all of these things, we always leave ourselves wiggle room to like do whatever we want and stay longer if we are enjoying ourselves. So it's never set in stone, but it's nice to have a list like this. And then my husband, once he gets all the addresses from me, then he goes and he makes sure that he has all of the maps in Google Maps, and or he might print them from home, especially when we're bike riding, when we're on trails. Sometimes you don't have the Wi-Fi like you would like to have. And so having actual maps and in detail are really kind of a good idea. In fact, we found that out the hard way when we were going to Yellowstone. If we didn't have our maps, we would have really been lost because once we got in the park, even the apps were not really working. And so we had our own maps to refer to so that we could go around Yellowstone when we went out west. But anyway, that's what I start with. I start with the itinerary and I make sure I have all the places that we want to go to. And I've done this for everything that I've done, except sometimes when we visit people, they actually have itineraries for us and we just go with the flow and we just enjoy ourselves. So then the next list, of course, is my checklist for my packing. And I've had this list forever and I've added things and deleted things, but I have it, and I did this also in Canva, but I had it in Word for a long time. But I use this list and I cross off all of the things as I'm packing so that I can make sure that I have everything packed and ready to go on our trip. I've even had in the past camping checklists. So when we were going camping or we were staying in a cabin or anything like that, I had all of the information so that I could start packing for those things too. But that's what this list is for. And I go and I take this list and again, I check off all of the things to make sure that I have everything packed and ready to go. So let's move on. So let's talk about packing. For me, I like all of the packing cubes. These are compression cubes. So you can put your items in there and then zip them up and then put them in your suitcase, and it saves a little bit of room. I don't find that it saves a ton of room, but it does save some. And what I do is I go in my closet, I try on the outfits that I want to wear throughout the week. I figure out how many days that we're going to be there, and then I have an outfit for each day that we're going to be there. And I figure out what we're going to be doing. Like for instance, we're going to be bike riding, so I want something a little more casual for that. Then I have a cube for my pajamas, and then I have a cube for my underwear and my socks, and then I have an extra cube that has some extra clothes in it for just in case. And I actually label that with a tag so that I know that those are my extra outfits for maybe going home, or maybe it's really hot that day and I need to change, that kind of thing. And then I put all of my shoes in bags so that that way then if they get dirty or whatever, they're not going to be on top of my clothes, because we might be going to a couple different hotels and I don't want to get things messed up. And then I have also like a cube with, again, my pants. I will bring some pants or some sweatpants or some jeans, just in case it's cooler at night. And that's really it. I just make sure I pack all of those things. I don't pick like one color and then go like that. I like to have different colors. I usually tend to have more blacks and blues in my closet anyway. So I'm kind of doing that. And then, but then this time I had some browns and I had some greens. So I wanted to wear those. And so I packed that. But I also make sure that I pack, very comfortable shoes, because we're always walking, we're always biking. And then I might bring one pair of a little like dressier shoe or something like that if we go out to a nicer place for dinner. But we're usually more casual people. And so we don't really care about all of that. We will be just as happy going to a bar and grill as anything else. So, and we're just more about the experiences that we have. And so packing is more like that for me. So now we're going to head into my other areas that I pack. I have to show you how I pack all of my necessities. So let's go do that next. So now let's talk about jewelry, and then also your medications, or maybe you have vitamins that you want to take. Mostly that's what I take. And then I also make sure I have in my purse, and then also in what I'm going to show you, I have some aspirin and stuff like that, just in case. And then what I do is I bought these. This is for your medication. And I really like this. I know that you can actually find these at the Dollar Tree. They have had them in the past. They're not in the pouch, but they do have these like little mini containers that have the days on them. And that's what this is for. So I put all of my medications in here, my allergy meds, like anything that I think I might need. And then I close this up and I put it in this pouch. Now in the past, I've only always bought one of those medication containers that you can get, and I would put those in there in my suitcase, and then instead of this. But I've found that I have to do this all the time, and I really love that I can put it by the days. And this one actually has morning and night. But then if you don't have to worry about morning and night, you can put like your meds in for like 2 days in each of the containers, which is what I did when I went to Japan, so that I had enough of my vitamins for when I was gone. Now you can use these, like I was saying, but another good thing to use this for is your jewelry. Now, I have a jewelry holder now that I use all the time, but in the beginning, when I was packing all of my things, I always used one of these, or they also have these containers that you can buy. I think they're near where all the hardware stuff is, and there's containers that have all different kinds of compartments, and you can use those for your jewelry as well. So I used to use these. I don't use that anymore. I have another nice container that I got on Amazon, and you can put all of your jewelry in these pouches so that everything stays nice and neat and untangled. And then you just close up this container and you have all of your jewelry. Now, I don't take a lot of jewelry. I take whatever fits in here, and that's it. I try to make sure that I have jewelry that matches a lot of my outfits. Mostly I wear necklaces. I don't really wear a lot of bracelets or rings or anything like that. I'm more of just the necklace kind of girl. So I just have that in here. And then of course I have something that holds my earrings. I put a small container in here as well. It fits, and I put my earrings in here. And I just usually wear one pair of earrings my whole trip. I don't really bring a whole bunch of jewelry. So that's what I use for both my jewelry and my vitamins. So let's move on to the next thing. This first toiletry bag is where I keep all my shower essentials and nighttime routine must-haves. I never bring the original bottles of anything. I always use refillable travel-size containers, and I found the TSA-approved ones work great even for road trips. I label them with a Sharpie so I know exactly what's inside, and I fill them with my favorite body wash, shampoo, and face cleanser. I just love it. It's neat, it's compact, and comes in a little case, so if anything spills, it's not getting on my clothes or inside my carry-on. And here's a little trick I always do when I'm flying. I add a piece of plastic wrap over the opening before screwing the lid on, and it keeps everything even safer. So the next thing that I fill up before I go is my toiletry bag. Now this has everything in it. It has my makeup in it. It has my nighttime routine in it where I brush my teeth and things like that. It has my soap and all of my perfumes and things like that. I have some nail polish in here in case I need to do touch-ups or anything like that. And it just has everything. And then what I like is that you can hang this on the wall. And what I do is I bring some 3M hooks of my own just in case. But usually the hotel has something to hang this on the back of the door. But if they don't, I always bring a really good 3M hook that can hold all of these things so that I have it ready to go when I'm ready to take my shower or when I'm ready to get ready in the morning with my makeup and things like that. And I love this bag. I'll try and link it below because I've had this for a really long time and I used it when I went to Japan to visit my daughter. And then of course, you saw that I put all of my moisturizers and my face creams and my body washes and all that stuff in those their own containers. I don't use the originals. I like the smaller versions, especially when I'm just going on a smaller trip. I don't need all of that. And so I just fill those up and then I have everything ready to go when I'm ready to take a shower and things like that or wash my face. So we're going to move on. I'm going to show you all the other things that I take in my carry-on. I have a small carry-on and I put all of these things in that carry-on so that I have all of those things ready to go when I get to the hotel. So two more things that I put in my carry-on. I put in a silicone holder with my straight iron because I have that. And then I also have a hair dryer and my hair dryer folds. So that way then I can easily put it in my carry-on as well and it doesn't take up a lot of space. So I make sure I have those two things with me. Now I know some hotels have those things already, but I like to use my own. And I like that I have this silicone holder so that I can lay my straight iron on top of that and it won't like burn anything when I'm in the hotel. So those are the last two things that I take with me that have to do with my toiletries and my essentials for getting ready in the beginning of the day. I usually pack enough clothes so I don't have to do laundry on my trip, but I always bring a laundry bag to hold all my dirty clothes in the hotel room. At the end of the trip, I just pack it into a garbage bag so I can throw everything right in the wash when I get home. I also carry a foldable laundry bag that's washable itself, which I love, and I have a collapsible laundry container that I found at the Dollar Tree. It folds flat and fits right into my suitcase. They sell similar ones at Target, Walmart, or online too. You can always just use a garbage bag, but I personally like bringing the bags and containers. It's just what works for me. This one is my favorite travel tip, especially if you're out shopping or picking up souvenirs. I always bring a foldable tote that fits right in my purse. It's perfect for those extra things you pick up during the day, and it even fits in my bike pouch when we're out riding. I actually got mine for free at Tokyo Disney when I was visiting my daughter, but you can find them online or in the grocery stores or at Walmart. I also bring a bigger foldable tote that I use at the end of the trip to carry all my souvenirs. And sometimes you just need that extra bag for groceries or overflow items. It's one of those things that I always pack and I never leave home without. It's bound to happen. You get hungry and can't find food. I've always packed snacks in my purse or car, even when my kids were little. A protein bar, trail mix, graham crackers, and water in my swell bottle, just enough to keep us from getting hangry. These days, I really just bring my phone. I used to pack my iPad and Kindle too, but now I've got all my apps and books right on my phone. I even bring a mini tripod so I can watch movies, and I always pack headphones so I can listen quietly. A few years ago, I bought a cord organizer that holds everything, chargers for my mini fan, mirror, phone, and more, and it fits perfectly in the tote that I travel with, which also holds my purse and other essentials for the road. That tote fits right under the seat on a plane too, and even has a spot for my water bottles. So I wanted to talk about a few little extra things that I always bring with me, especially when I'm traveling. I always make sure that I have a waist pack. I can put my phone in here. I can put all of my cards in here for buying things. And I really like this for when I'm like going to the zoo, or if I know that I'm going to be walking a lot, because I'd rather not have a crossbody purse on. It just starts to bother me with my shoulders and things like that. So I always just buy myself a really nice waist pack, and I'm telling you, it's like a game changer for me. I can put whatever I want in here. Now, my husband carries a backpack. He likes to do that, but he gets a mini backpack, and then he puts like our waters in there and maybe a few snacks. I can even fit a couple of snacks in here as well. I put my hand sanitizer in here, some Kleenex, just some little essentials that we might need in case we have a headache or something like that. But I can fit everything in here. So I always bring this. I put this in my carry-on so that I can take this out right away if I need it. And then when we're driving in the car, or even when I'm on an airplane, I bought this really nice, warm, fuzzy blanket. It makes me feel really good when I'm on a plane. I took this with me when I went to Japan, and I like how you can actually use it as a pillow if you wanted to, because you can put the blanket on the inside, but then the blanket is really nice and warm, and I really enjoyed having this on the plane with me. But I also take it in the car with me when we're on our trips going around Michigan and things like that, or if we're going to do some kind of long road trip. I like to have this in the car because sometimes my husband likes the air conditioner on and I don't, and so then this way then I can cover my legs and I can make sure that I'm warm when I need it. So I buy myself one of those. Now I've also, when I went on really big trips, I brought along a kit that I can wash clothes if I need to. I've never had to use it, but I still take it with me. It has a clothesline. It has a stopper so that you can stop the water from going down the drain. You can wash your stuff in the sink. It comes with the suds. It comes with everything. And then you can quickly wash some things if you need to, like if you're running low on your underwear or your socks or whatever that you're bringing with you that you would need, like maybe a top or something like that needs to be washed. So I do buy that, and I do get that on Amazon. There's a ton of different ones, and you can pick out which one you're interested in. I also bring my own pillowcases. For some reason, when I have my own pillowcases, it just makes me feel a little more like it's home. So I always bring some pillowcases for both my husband and I so that we can put them on the pillows in the hotel. And I really like that a lot. So I always bring those. I just get some cheap ones on Amazon, or you can go to Walmart or whatever, and I just grab a couple of those, and then I bring those with me. And then also, one of my things that I always make sure I have is a mirror. And I got this on Amazon. I really like this. My daughter confiscated my other one when I went to Japan because she really liked it, so I let her have it. But it has a light on it, and then you can recharge it. So I really like that idea. And then it also has a magnetic mirror so that you can look closer if you need to look closer at your makeup or whatever it is that you need to do. And so I always have one of these in my carry-on so that I can have that if there's not like maybe a good lighting in the bathroom, or maybe my husband needs to get in the bathroom, and then I can put this on a desk or a table or something like that and start putting my makeup on. So I always bring one of those. So now I have one more thing to tell you about, and then that's it. So let's keep going. So the very last thing that I wanted to talk about is my carry-on. Now my carry-on, I put all of my makeup and my essentials, my showering, all that kind of stuff in there. I'll put like an extra purse in here, my vitamins, any kind of medications. I always put all of that in there. I put my jewelry in here. And because this is the one thing that if you are going on an airplane that you would want to bring with you. So I make sure that I have all of that in there. And then I usually, if I'm traveling far and not doing a road trip, I will put in a pair of pajamas, and then I'll put some extra underwear, some extra clothes in here, my pajamas in here, and then just anything else that I might need for at least 1 or 2 days. And so I will put that in here. So that's what I will put inside my carry-on. But we're just doing a road trip, so I'm not doing that this time, but I will have this filled up with all of my essentials and things like that that I need to use right away when I get to the hotel for like taking a shower and things like that. So I hope that this helps. And yeah, so that's the last of the tips that I have for you. And I hope that this helps you out when you're getting ready to go on your trip this year. So that's it, my 10 go-to packing tips. I hope they help make your next trip smoother and a little less stressful. I'll see you next week after my own vacation. And if you love helpful videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe. Let me know if you have any travel tips too. Comment with your favorites. And I love when we can share ideas. So anyway, I'll see you next week. Hey friends, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you found some fun and budget-friendly ideas to bring into your home. A special shout out to all my subscribers. You guys are amazing. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss a video. I post weekly with more home decor, party planning, and DIY goodness. Also, check out my shop at Grin and Print on Etsy. I've got some fun games, printables, and party supplies that I know you'll love. Thanks again for all your support, and I'll see you in the next video.